Former PGA Tour caddy and our resident 92.9 The Game caddy, Mick Middlemo. He's over across a couple of ponds. Mick, hopefully you had a good dinner and you're settling in for bed, man. What's going on?
I actually did have a good dinner tonight. It was actually a wonderful dinner. Me and Dad, we just hung out, had a couple of beers, and it was a very, very quiet dinner tonight. Very good.
Nice work, man. I hope your pops is doing well. Look, let's talk about
he
Rory.
He was up early. He was up earlier than I was this morning. He was actually up at 4:00 to watch the Masters. I got up at 4:30. He was ahead of me this morning.
Awesome, man. Well, what you did see when you were watching the Masters and your old man was Rory coming up with his second straight Masters win. Mick, I wanted to ask you about this because a lot has been made about it, and a lot has been made about him saying he's practiced numerous times over the last couple of weeks. And how fair that is for the rest of the people. What do you make of that, for Rory to say that, hey, I've been up here, it feels like my home course, and I've played this course a ton over the past 3 or 4 weeks?
I think when you've won the Masters, you have the right to be able to do that. I mean, I think it's kind of cool. And how cool is it that you can drop your daughter off at school, then jump on a plane, fly up to Augusta, play 18 holes, then jump on a plane and then pick up your daughter up back from school? I mean, that's kind of a cool thing to be able to do, I got to tell you.
I agree.
I mean, not many people can get to do that. But no, definitely not me. I couldn't get my car to do that. But no, it's like he's earned the right. He's a Masters champion. When you want to get up there and go play, I mean, you've earned the right to do that for sure.
Well, and it's such a big deal. It's back-to-back Masters wins. What separates the guys that can do this, who can defend at Augusta?
Well, I mean, he's only the fourth guy to do that. So I think the news is going to be next year. It's like, okay, last year was like, hey, can he get the Grand Slam? Now he's won 2 in a row. Next year, the media is going to be like, okay, can he be the first man to win 3 in a row? So I think the pressure is going to be on next year as well. But the way he's playing, the way he's going about his business, I mean, there's no reason why he can't do 3 in a row.
Mick, Justin Rose made a surge in that on day 4, and he had the lead. He turns the back 9. I'm sitting there pulling for Justin Rose because he's from all accounts one of the nicest guys on the tour, and he's been there so many times in this tournament. But he gets over his shot on 11 in the fairway, and he steps off and says he thinks the club is long. He and his caddy have a conversation, and then he hits the ball on the green, but short of where he wanted it. And then it seemed like that was the beginning of his downhill. Did he let past years maybe creep in there? What happened there? Was that the beginning of the end for him in the tournament?
I think it was the beginning of the end. There's no doubt. I know Rosie really well. His caddy's a really great mate of mine, and I'm actually looking forward to having a conversation with him. I'm not obviously going to call him in the next few days and, hey, mate, like we always do. I always call him after the majors and we have a chat. And what happened on 11. There was just they were very indecisive on 11. Obviously, I'm not going to blame the caddy for any stretch because I don't like to blame caddies for anything. But there were a lot of indecisions there, and it just, when you're playing a shot and you're indecisive and you're not really sure, those things can happen. I wish they sort of had got a little bit more, in sync and then, maybe executed better. But that's just one shot. I mean, the chip shot he hit on 12 was horrific. It was a horrible little chip shot there, and then a making bogey there. And, he didn't putt well down the stretch. He 3-putted. He hit a beautiful shot on the par 5, 13, and then he 3-putted for par. And then he missed a little kick in. So he's going to be laying in bed, last night thinking about, what could have been. Because it really was what could have been for Justin Rose.
Hanging out with our buddy Mick Middlemo. He is a former PGA Tour caddy, and he's our resident caddy here on 92.9 The Game. Mick, look, I think for my money, it was probably Rory's chip in on Saturday, I believe. What was your biggest moment of the tournament? What's the one moment you'll take away from this one?
Yeah, the chip in I think it was Friday when he chipped in on 17 when he hit it way right, and then he chipped in on 17. He had the 6-shot lead, but he was 2 or 3 behind today, and then he rallied. I mean, he put it. This is when he found another gear today. And in the last 10 holes, 12 holes, I think it was. He shot 4 under on the back for the rest of the tournament. He played beautifully in those at the end. It was awesome. To me, the biggest story is Scottie Scheffler. Scotty Scheffler played 13 and 15, the 2 gettable par 5s. He played them in 1 over this week. And, that to me is like mind-boggling that he would play if he had to play 2 or 3 under, he wins the tournament. He wins the tournament hands down, but he played the easy par 5s. He played them badly. And he's probably going to be kicking himself, on that stretch as well.
What's going on with Scotty? Because he's had it feels like the majors lately. He gets off to weird starts on Thursday and Friday, and then surges on Saturday and Sunday, and somehow it's still there at the end of the tournament. Is it too much? Is it him playing too many tournaments? Why is he getting off to these slow starts in these majors?
It's not just the majors. It's like this year, it's like every tournament he's played in, he's just got off to slow starts. He's had some horrible starts, 2 overs, 3 overs in tournaments, and then rallies. He's the first guy since 1942 to play, Saturday, Sunday at the Masters and bogey-free. Since records have been come out, it's like he played bogey-free on Saturday and Sunday, which is incredible. That's, when the courses are the hardest and, the pin placements are the hardest, he never made a bogey. But he just 13 and 15 killed him. He's just got off to such slow starts lately. And, yeah, it's hard to fathom the number 1 player in the world being as slow as he is to get out of the blocks.
We are joined by Mick the Caddy on the morning shift. Mick, you've been out there with these guys, helping them get through the tournament. How much of a therapist is a caddy at the Masters? Because they have to be having so many conversations inside their head.
Oh, therapist. Best friend, therapist. There's so much that goes on there. It's the conversations that you have, in between shots and all that sort of stuff. It is an amazing game. And, I was talking to my dad about it today. It's like, I don't think there's anything better than watching golf on a Sunday of the Masters. From start to finish, it's 5 hours. It's captivating. It's amazing to watch, and the highs and lows of players and caddies trying to, encourage their players and talk to them and stuff like that. It's a mind-boggling experience to be out there, and in majors. And, unfortunately, I've never caddied at the Masters. I've been there 5 times as a spectator. I've caddied 6 other majors, and it's the conversations you have with players in between shots, and it's just the majors are a different ball game compared to other tournaments, and so it can be hard work as a caddy, that's for sure.
Mick, I can't let you go with speaking of therapists without asking about what you thought about Sergio over the weekend. The breaking of the driver, slamming things around, kind of acting an overall fool. Have you ever been a part of anything like that? Any of your golfers ever fallen apart on the tee box and started smashing stuff?
Oh yeah, I've had quite a few. I had one guy one time walk into after a 4-putt on the 9th, and then walked into a porta potty, and then I thought he was like destroying the porta potty. He come out with blood on his hand, and he'd probably punched that thing 1,000 times, and and I was like, okay, that was at Syracuse in New York, and like he come out, and I was like, okay, do you feel better now? I've had guys snap clubs and throw clubs, but I can guarantee you one thing. Sergio had a little meeting with the people at Augusta National and said that's never going to happen again.
Did Sergio say that, or did they say that?
No, I can. And look, I'm great. I know Sergio really well. Sergio and I have had some good times together. We've had a few beers together, had some dinner together, and he's a good man. So I like Sergio. He's a good man. But what he did today at the Masters, I can guarantee you he's already been reprimanded, and it won't happen again. Because the hierarchy of the Masters, they don't deal with that stuff very well.
All right, Mick, let's go back to Rory real quick. You walk up 18, you got a 2-stroke lead, and Rory tells you, I'm going to use my driver. When the man can strike a 6-iron, 270, do you say, are you sure we shouldn't just hit one down the fairway and par this thing out and go home safe?
I would have been happy with 3-wood, but the drive he hit on 17 was really good. He hit that little stinger that he's been working on. So I would have let him hit that stinger. Or I would have gone, yeah, it's okay. Because he had to, the worst was bogey. And I can tell you that second shot he hit was impressive. As much as it was a bad lie in the bunker, he hit a really nice hook around those trees to get it into that bunker. I think he was comfortable with that. Obviously, he hasn't driven the ball well all week. which is another amazing part about the whole week, is that he was like third to last in driving accuracy, and yet he won the tournament.
Oh,
which just goes to show you how good his putting was, how good his iron play was, how good his short game was, and stuff like that. Because every time he stood on the tee, I was like, I don't know where this is going. I don't know where this is going. It's just, and I can tell you one thing as a caddy, that's kind of scary. But you've got to hype up your player, and you're like, hey, bud, you just hit a beautiful drive on 17. You're going to hit a beautiful drive here on 18. Let's go for it. You've got to give give your man some hype, and make sure you think you're on his side. So, but he did hit a pretty terrible tee shot on 18, but he had the advantage of a 2-shot lead.
Yeah, thankfully for him. Speaking of scary, you're talking about hitting those shots around that tree. The confidence that those patrons had that he was going to actually wrap that ball around the tree, they've lost their mind.
It's Rory, not me.
I guarantee they're not standing in front of Bo.
hey, I've only hit like 2 to 3 people and with a golf ball.
Yeah, that'll boy. Mick, we appreciate your time, brother. Hopefully you're doing well over there, and hopefully we'll catch up with you again soon.
I'm doing great, mate. Everything is fantastic over here. It's great.
Awesome.
I have a Foster's on me.
What's that, mate?
Have a Foster's on me, Mick.
Yeah, there's one thing we don't drink in Australia, and that's Foster's. I can assure you.
I believe you.
I thought it was Australian for
Good.
beer.
Hey, Mick, we appreciate it, brother. Hope you're well.
It's a wonderful commercial that we do over there, but we probably sell Foster's over to the Americans, and we keep the good stuff for ourselves. Yeah. I can promise you.
Next, you're going to tell me I don't throw boomerangs either. I'm going to be lost, man. Yeah.
There's no.
Appreciate your time, Mick.
No, there's plenty of them around. I appreciate you guys.
Thanks so much to Mick the Caddy for joining us today. He probably saw that commercial for the first time, like Foster's Australian for beer. He's like, what?
Yeah, that's what I've always heard too.
No truth that he's live from Walkabout Creek as well.
It's like drinking a Corona in Mexico. Like, I don't think that's going on.
Mick said he's had guys break clubs. That's so much money. That is insane. And I understand it's not an object for some people. However, what's the most expensive thing? It might be a mailbag question that you're willing to buy out of frustration.
That's true. But I don't think they paid for those golf clubs.
They have deals, kind of like Ronald Acuna Jr. doesn't pay for his baseball bat.
I get
it. But let me tell you something. They might be expensive, but I might have taken an iron to a tree one time. All right.
Mine's still sitting in a pine somewhere in Colorado.
So
I've lost a few too.
So don't judge. Is all I'm saying.
I'm just baffled. That's